DRes by WA Production. This is a plugin for a very specific type of processing, removing problem resonances from any type of audio. With onboard controls for isolating unruly harmonics, you can easily identify resonance issues that build up and might ruin a multi-layered mix. Then control and reduce them whilst using restorative tools to maintain brightness and presence. So you might be thinking, hang on, my music doesn't have any issues with resonances. And that's the trouble. These sneaky frequency spikes and harmonics can hide away in audio that sounds clean at first listen. And these artifacts become a real problem when layering synths, vocals or pads. Try out DRes and you'll be giving your individual tracks the best chance of sounding clean and clear in a full mix. Here are a few before and after examples of individual audio tracks. Make sure to grab your headphones or listen through decent monitors to hear the precise resonance issues that I'll be isolating with the listen button before removing them entirely using DRes.
Don't lose me now. Don't lose me now. Don't lose me now. Don't lose me now. Don't lose me now.
Running in all major plugin formats for Mac and PC, DRes does just one thing really well: removing resonant peaks and their harmonics, making sure that every track is ready for a great sounding mixdown. So let's explore. This is the main interface of DRes with all the controls clearly laid out on the front panel as dials and buttons. The interface is fully resizable, being drawn with vector graphics. Just drag the bottom right corner. The live audio is shown as a frequency display at the top just here. so you can see exactly what's happening to the signal as it travels through the plugin in real time. Watch out for nasty resonant peaks being tamed as we go through this video. Controls for A/B comparison, undo redo, presets and oversampling are across the top just here. There are input and output level gains on the left and right. You can also right-click anywhere on the interface for a few additional options that are covered in the DRes manual. Let's walk through the journey of identifying and reducing resonant peaks, their harmonics, and using a few onboard tools to ensure that the processing isn't sucking all the life out of the sound. Here's a pad that sounds pretty decent to begin with. But don't be fooled, as there's a resonant peak hiding amongst the frequencies, and we can fix it. Pressing the listen button is the first thing to do. Then we'll sweep the frequency range from 1 kHz to 8 kHz to find the offending resonant frequency. Basically, we're looking for the loudest and most obnoxious ringing sound, and also its lowest harmonic. You can see the orange frequency display sweeping through. In this case, it's at about 1.4 kHz, a nasty peak. If we click the listen button off, it's now much more obvious to hear in the unprocessed audio. Not because it's any louder than before, just because your ear has been given a helping hand to identify it. Now let's reduce it by bringing down the central control just here. Use the bypass button to compare before and after. And that's all there is to it in a most basic sense. The rest of the interface controls are either for capturing wider frequency bands and more harmonics, or restoring some presence and brightness into the processed signal. Let's try fixing this organ sound. We'll press the listen button to emphasize any problem resonant frequencies, and then sweep the frequency range, searching for the biggest peak. The Q or quality factor is similar to the Q in traditional equalizers, but fine-tuned here based on resonance control. At low values the Q peak is broader, at higher it's narrower, so set it depending on the breadth of the frequencies that you want to capture. Most sounds will also contain relative harmonic components at lower volume levels than the main frequency, so bring the octave knob down to capture and process those too. DRes can operate either dynamically or statically in cleaning resonances. With the dynamic knob set at 0, it's entirely static. At 100, it's completely dynamic. The next couple of controls help restore any deadening of the sound that happens as a result of the resonance processing. Compensate does exactly that, compensating by boosting frequencies adjacent to the cleared frequencies, helping to liven up the sound. Excite adds air to the sound, crucially without enhancing any of the cleared resonances. A nice simple way to add presence. The tone button carefully adjusts tonal balance by applying a subtle convolution response. Use this on pads, strings, and other supporting instrumentation to quickly fix any problem tonal balance issues. We've also included a low-cut filter, just as a utility so that you can scoop out any boomy lows to increase clarity in general, useful as part of your pre-mixing chain. Let's try a new sound. Again, pressing the listen button to emphasize and then isolate the problem frequency. There may be times when you only want to process resonance control on the mid or side configuration. This sound is a great example as resonance buildup is only happening on the side signal. So we can switch DRes into mid-side mode and activate just the side processing. Handy for leaving the mid signal intact, as in this case. You could use this function the other way around, or as an effect to enhance the spatial quality of any audio. Some things to be aware of: you can right-click any dial to reset to default value. For accuracy, you can also hold Shift whilst clicking to type in your own exact values. Or click the virtual keyboard to pinpoint specific frequencies. A few more things to mention: you can actually store an A and B version of the settings. Just click here to choose one of the options, or copy between them. There are also undo and redo buttons. There are 3 options for types of oversampling: off, 2 times, and 4 times. The presets just here offer great starting points to enhance your audio. There'll be many more in the final release version. You can easily create your own presets and folders. So those are the basic concepts behind DRes, an accurate and surgical way to remove resonance from any audio whilst maintaining clarity and